Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, How Servicers See You and Your Competitors on Equator. My name is Mia Simo, and I'm the Agent Relationship Manager at Equator, and I'll be your host today. Our presenter is Dan Nagy, and Dan is our Equator Product Manager for the Agent team. Dan's got some exciting news to share with you. It's something that everyone has been asking for a really long time, so we've taken this opportunity to address how you are seeing from the servicer's perspective. I also want to mention that today I have with me behind the scenes Nick Brito from our agent development team. You may recall his name from the emails you received from him. So Nick is going to help me answer the questions that you can type into the question box. If you're unfamiliar with the question box, it is on the screen, the GoToWebinar screen. All the attendee lines are muted, so please, we encourage you to type your questions in the box. We will answer your questions during the last 10 minutes. If we run out of time, we will address your questions by the end of the day via email. During the last 10 minutes of this webinar, we are going to address some common questions that we see so everyone can benefit from the answers. And also another question we get asked all the time, will we be sharing this presentation? Yes, we will be emailing a link to the video presentation to all attendees tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Also, at the end of the webinar, we will share the phone number to the agent development team who can help you with your specific questions on your Equator account. So I'm going to turn it over to Dan.
Thanks, Mia, and thanks to everyone for being part of our newest tool called Agent Search. This tool is free and available to any registered agent in Equator, including our Agent Elite and Standard Agent account members. As the title of the webinar suggests, Equator is developing a new tool for you, the agent, to see your own profile and search results rankings the way asset managers see you when they begin their search for an agent. Today we'll talk about what the new tool is, what it does, and how you use it, and maybe a couple of other things that we got on the burner, and we'll let you know what those look like. As I mentioned, Agent Search allows agents to see what asset managers see when they search for an agent to list property in Equator. With Agent Search, you're not going to be able to check up on your own ranking and asset manager search results and take a look at the profiles of the other Equator agents competing in your market to see what they may be doing differently than you. When you search in a zip code or city that you serve, the Agent Search will show your place in the rank as though an asset manager were performing the same search. We've included an explanation of rank calculations, which gives you ideas for ways you can improve your spot in asset manager search results. This new tool is going to be available late July. To give you the preview of the tool, let's go through a quick example. When the Agent Search goes live, there's going to be a link to it on your agent profile, probably right below your name. You'll also be able to click on the tool section and click on the Agent Search to access the same product. Use the fields here to search by zip code, city and state, or agent name, and then click the Spyglass button. The results you're going to see on the screen are the same as the asset manager would see when they perform the same agent search in their own Equator workstations. At the top of the screen, we've included a link that's going to tell you how do we determine the ranking order, and clicking this link is going to open a new window. The How Was My Rank Calculated table shows you at a glance the factors involved in agents' ranking and search results. So we have 4 tiers that agents can fall into. The first tier is going to include your agent certification, which is part of our Agent Elite package, and premium placement. The second tier will have agents that only have premium placement. The third tier will have agents that are Agent Elite only and have their certification badge. And the fourth tier is for standard agents who have neither Agent Elite or premium placement. So as you can see in this example, we've had to scroll down to see where the agent ranks on this screen. And if you're curious to find out why you are where you are, click the Find Out Now link, and the same table will display to show you and explain to you why you ranked the way you did. So now that you've seen the Agent Search tool, if you're interested in moving up the rank, here are some other Equator tools to help you do that. Our Agent Elite product includes access to agent certification courses. Passing these courses gives you the badge you see in the Agent Search profile and moves you up in the ranking. It also signals to the lenders that you're knowledgeable about Equator and its workstation and can be the most successful agents for that lender. Our premium placement tool is designed to make you more visible in the search. Investing in zip codes makes a huge difference in the visibility to the lenders. If you're interested in learning more about these products, give our agent development team a call at the number at the end of this webinar, and they'll help you form a strategy to best suit your needs. So finally, in addition to what you just saw, we have a couple new products coming out that I think you'll very much enjoy. One of them is the BPO Forms. We're going to convert these from PDFs to an online form. That's going to make it easy to save and easy to complete without ever leaving the task viewer on Equator. Additionally, we're going to have a multi-phase upgrade to the Equator.com look and features that you're going to see about very soon as well. I'm going to turn it back to Mia now.
Thanks, Dan. This is great information. As I look for the questions and answers on here, we have a few that are popping up here. So let's just give it a few more minutes. I'll talk about the slide that we have up here. This is our thank you discount that we are providing you. It's a 30% off Agent Elite, and that code is WEBMEN2017AE. And that is for 30% off a 1-year annual subscription to Agent Elite. We're also offering a 15% off premium placement for 12 months. And that code is WEBMEN2017PP. Don't worry if you didn't write this down. You are going to get this recording tomorrow, and you'll get the information. So let's take a look and see some of the questions that we have coming up here. All right. I have a question from Meredith. Do asset managers even look at this information to determine what agent they use? So I can answer that one. Actually, we just had a webinar with Susan Spear from Kronos. And if you missed that one, please call in and let us know, and we'll send you the link to that. Because she was very clear on what information she looks at when deciding how what agent to use. One of her hot buttons was the agent certification. To her, that was the most important thing. And if you don't know who Susan is, she's the vendor manager at Kronos. They're one of our clients on the Equator portal. So she looks at the certification because to her that tells her agents are educated, they're proficient on the platform, and they're not going to slow down the asset manager's workflow. She says it's very frustrating when she assigns an asset to an agent and they don't know how to use Equator, and they're constantly calling the asset manager to find out how to upload something, what the colors mean, and so forth. So she relies heavily on the agent certification badge in the search results. Good question. Okay, let's go to the next one. How do rankings work for multiple agents who have Agent Elite, premium placement, and completed all Equator training? I think that's a question regarding proximity. How do rankings work for multiple agents who have Agent Elite? So basically, I think the question is, if everybody has the same thing, then how does the ranking work?
Right. So the tiebreaker is typically going to be based on proximity to the subject. So if there are numerous agents that are within proximity to the subject, the closest one will show up first. Again, banded by the tiers, though. So if you do have Agent Elite and premium placement, you'll be at the very top. And if you have any of the other products, you're going to fall in line with how the tiers are stacked up.
Great. Okay, we'll go to the next one. How many lenders, bank servicers use the Equator platform? That's a tricky question. We are not able to publicize the servicers and asset managers' names based on our obligation and contract with our servicers. But I can tell you that we have 4 of the 5 top servicers and 1 very large GSE. So you can kind of figure out who that is. And that very large GSE has the majority of the volume in Equator. But all in all, I think we have we're looking at about 15 servicers, banks, asset management companies, and smaller hedge fund companies that use the Equator platform to service their REO. Okay, another question here. Okay, what is the difference between, where did it go? What is the difference between Agent Elite and Premium Placement?
Agent Elite is our annual product, and that gives you a couple of different products that come with that. One of them is our market insights. We also offer REO Alerts, and it finally comes with the certification product, which is the badge that you see on the agent search. And completing the 8 courses will give you that badge and move you up in the agent search. So those are the 3 products that come with our Agent Elite. And Premium Placement is our geo-specific marketing product that you're going to buy per zip code. And owning the Premium Placement zip code allows you to, again, move up in search results for that specific zip code.
Okay, great. Here's another one. Does the profile views number include the times that I have worked on my own profile? You know, the impressions that they have up there on the left? That's a great question, too.
That is a good question. So impressions are based on how often a servicer sees you in the search results. So that number you see on your overview page gives you an idea of how often you show up in search results. And there are a couple of varying factors that can increment your impressions. For example, if the lender opens up your profile and takes a closer look at your profile, that could also increment your impression by 1. So it's basically a good indicator and gauge to know how often a lender is seeing you in search results.
Okay, that's great. Another question. If you have more than one office, which will give you close proximity to some of the properties, how can we make that aware to asset managers so they know we are close to that property in that office? Okay, if you have more than one office, which will give you close proximity to some of the properties, how can we make that aware to asset managers so they know you're close to that property? So I think what she's saying, multiple offices,
right.
That will be proximity. So you would be looking at premium placements. So for each office, you would want to look at premium placement zip codes that are probably within a 25-mile radius around that particular office, because that's how you're going to show up in the ranking in terms of proximity to the specific property that asset manager is looking for. I hope that answered your question. Okay, moving along. I have been serving my market for nearly 25 years. Does that matter?
It definitely matters. We do list how long you've been an agent on your agent profile for servicers. So any experience obviously is looked upon positively by lenders, and again, that's just something that will bolster your portfolio and your capabilities when a lender is looking at you.
Okay, in terms of premium placements, does it just mean purchase zip codes? Yes. Premium placements are purchase zip codes. The reason why they're called premium placement is when you purchase that zip code, it gives you a premium placement in the search results. Do you have to annually renew your certification, or is this a one-time thing?
It is a one-time thing. We are updating our certification courses soon. Hopefully you'll come back and check those out, and we'll get some more information on that soon. But for right now, you just have to take it that one time, and that's all we require.
Well, let me clarify that. So that you only have to take the test one time.
Correct.
But it's an annual renewal fee.
Correct.
Right. So we removed the requirement that we had years ago. If you were certified years ago, you would have to take the test every year. But we've removed that, and so now you just renew the subscription, and no testing is required if you've taken it once already.
Good point.
Okay, now this one is talking about REO Alerts. Does making a comment when responding to the REO Alerts make any difference?
It does. For right now, we are going to remove this product in the coming months or so. So right now, you do have the capability to respond to REO alerts and try to provide the lender with as much information as you can about the property you're responding to. And lenders do look at them. There are quite a few to look at, so it's hard to gauge exactly which ones. But any information you can provide to the lender that could differentiate you and your knowledge of the property is always helpful.
Right, and I believe that Susan talked about it on her webinar as well, or if you were at the REO conference, there were several asset managers that were talking about REO alerts, and what they like to see in there is, how many other servicers that you work with. They like to see if you have a Fannie Mae account or Bank of America. They like to see that in the alerts. If you can tell them something specific about that particular property, that's helpful too. Okay, another question. This is a good one. How does discount apply if you are already a member and have Elite and Premium? So we do offer that on renewal. So if you want to take advantage of this particular discount that you have and you already have a subscription, we can offer that to you to renew for the following year. Okay, moving along. Okay, I completed assignments and passed all the tests. Does the badge get posted automatically? That's a really good question, Monique. You won't see the badge. You will see the badge after you take the courses and pass it, and that automatically goes over to the view that the servicers see. So I think it was in one of the screens that Dan showed, that certification badge that will automatically go over to the servicer side when you've passed all the tests. Okay. Does the number of search results on your profile help or hurt when the next asset manager looks at your profile and sees a large number?
The lenders they don't have visibility to the number of impressions you get. So this question is regarding impressions. The impression count is for you and you only, just to give you an idea of how often you show up in search results. But again, this is not information we share across different lenders, and they don't know how often you're actually being seen. All they know is when they do a search, they start scrolling down, they see the first couple of agents, and that's where they start their search.
Okay. I think we kind of touched on this one, but it's on the same subject. Does the profile view include Equator Agent Development personnel views? Also, if an asset manager looks at my profile more than once, does it increase the count? Will there be an opportunity for us to know who is looking at our profile? Okay, so two-part question.
Right, so every time they do look at your account, it does increment it by one. So say they saw your account through a search and they come back later that day and you show up in a search again, yes, it will increment it by one. At this point, to answer the second question, we are trying to figure out how to get more granular on this information. If we can display what lenders they are, we'll obviously definitely try to do that. And we're working on that right now, but as of now, we are not able to display that information.
Okay, great. Here's another one. My company has 6 offices. Do servicers go by just one office, or will they go by multiple office locations? You know, that's a good question too. Different servicers have different models. Susan Spears said that she's not a big fan of multiple offices. There are some of the other servicers on our platform that feel differently. It all depends on their business model. Before you go out and start branching out and creating all these Equator accounts and opening offices everywhere, and that intending that you think you're going to get more business that way, I would encourage you to reach out to the asset managers that you work with and find out if that will work with their business model. Okay, here's another one for you, Dan. I don't understand why somebody with premium placement would have a higher ranking than someone who paid the money and did the work to pass the test to become certified.
This is just logic that we agreed upon with the lenders as well. So there's definitely value in both. We just feel like if you're committing marketing dollars to farming a specific area, and that's where you want to be seen, then we should do that for you and place you slightly higher than someone that's certified. Which doesn't take away anything from the certification. We definitely recommend that because, again, that's what lenders are looking for in terms of ability to perform on the workstation. But lenders also want to know that you're farming an area, that you're familiar with the area that they're trying to assign an agent in, and that's what premium placement is doing for you. It's showing the lenders that you work this area and that you're capable of carrying out the listing.
That's a good point. I remember having a few conversations with a few asset managers that said that they have spent days trying to find an agent look for a specific zip code because they didn't have a zip code on their profile or a premium placement. So they were contacting agents that were rejecting the listing because the zip code that they needed to find an agent in was too far for them. So that's the important thing for asset managers to see is the zip codes that you service, premium placements. Oh, this is a really good one too. So Andrew is asking, the marketing of REO listings is generally quite bad. Very few photos, few comments, etc. Does marketing matter? I make a custom virtual tool for all my listings, even lots. I just entering the MLS enough. Is additional marketing even considered? So I think what he's referring to, Dan, is we have a very limited space on the profile. And some agents, depending on the volume that they have and the price point of their listings, they do extensive marketing. I think we talked about having video capability at some point. Is that happening?
Right. So we definitely want to give you as many tools to help market yourself and the property in different ways. And these are all things that we have on our roadmap to bring to you in a near future. And we're definitely listening, and we'll take your feedback very, very closely.
Okay. If asset managers are trying to select a new agent, do they see notes and recommendations from other asset managers?
Currently, they do not. We do not share reviews across other lenders. We are, again, this is another initiative. We're trying to get lenders to cooperate and share and be more communal in their knowledge of agents and their capabilities. So these are things where we're definitely trying to push for. Again, some of the things we're restricted by are some of the lender contractual obligations we have to uphold. But these are all things that we're committed to bringing transparency to the agents, and these are all fall under that umbrella to try to get lenders as much visibility to your positive capabilities as we can.
Okay. Can you find out who the asset manager is before the property hits the market?
No, unfortunately, that's not available. That's just something that that's pretty straightforward in the REO industry. You're assigned a listing from asset managers that find you and form a relationship from there on out. So once an asset manager does utilize your services and you guys have a good relationship, I'm sure there's an easier way to communicate. But initially, it's a one-way street of an asset manager finding an agent.
So we're moving the screen back to what it looks like because we probably have some agents that were late in joining the webinar. As I see some questions saying, what do the asset managers see? So you may have missed the part where this is what the asset managers see.
Right, and to clarify, this is the ranking that they see. Asset managers always also see some metrics and some performance things around your capabilities so that they can gauge your capabilities more closely. But this gives you a good idea of ranking where you show up in the search results when an asset manager is looking for an agent to list a property.
Okay, so we are about through. So I wanted to thank everybody for today's webinar, for joining our webinar today. And if you have any further questions that we didn't get to, like I said earlier, we will email you the questions by the end of today. And if there's anything else you would like to know, please contact our agent development team. You'll see the phone number again at 424-220-1197, or you can email them at agentdevelopment@equator.com. And thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.